These are Formula off-road cars, supercharged dune buggies with a taste for volcanic ash. The sport was developed in the 1970s, and the idea is to climb up the steepest hill you can find. And this entire sport owes its fun to the type of ash that Elkfelt produced.
This is nuts. How's it going?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm good. I think you're absolutely crazy.
And I must be crazy too, because I'm going to give it a spin. My driver, Hofstein Thorvaldsen, is a champion, and he's promised me he's not going to hold anything back.
So you ready?
Yeah, I think. Are we ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
To really understand a landscape, you need to experience it, to walk it, touch it. But this is off the charts. The exploded material here is really big, around the size of pebbles, and the huge paddles on the tires power through it.
That is unreal. I think I lost my voice. I can't believe that.
No.
You can't see anything.
Yes.
You just pointed straight into the sky. Oh, man.
The ash from volcanoes like Elkfelt is great for motorsports and for tourists because this stuff is never going to ground air travel. And here's why. When you look at the geology of Iceland, you would expect any of the volcanic eruptions to produce just this, like what built this island. So if you think about the actual eruption, it would go up and it would come right back to ground. But contrast that to the ash from Eyjafjallajökull. When this stuff gets ejected high into the air, it can really travel a long distance. The difference between these two grades of ash is down to one crucial ingredient being present inside the volcano as ash is forming, and there's a lot of it locked up on the surface of Iceland. Water. I'm going to show you how water from ice melt affects volcanic ash production with a campfire, a can of motor oil, and a glass of water.
But I have to let you know, please don't try this at home. I've done this many times. I have the safety gear, and I also have somebody standing by here with a fire extinguisher. So here we have our active volcano. And right now it's not very explosive, but if it's underneath a glacier and we add just a little bit of meltwater into it, this is what happens. Whoa! Jeez! And that's the explosive power of water. When it turns to steam, it expands 1,600 times the original size. And it's that pulverized that ash, sending it high into the atmosphere and all over Europe, shutting down international travel. Jeez, that's hot.
Katla's ice sheet is the same size as a major US city, like Chicago. So massive, the only way to get a handle on the scale is from the air.
Look at all the cracks. You can finally get a bird's eye view of.
Some of these crevices are really deep. They go so far down.
The crevices show us the ice here is thick enough to bury the Empire State Building nearly twice over. When Katla erupts, the intense heat will melt this ice, sending meltwater crashing down into the magma chamber. The steam explosion that follows will smash the bubbling magma into tiny particles and throw a giant ash plume high into air corridors. International trade will grind to a halt. Millions of travelers will be left stranded. But just how real is this threat? The mega pop sensation is...
In 2010, the Eyjafjallajökull volcano stops flights across Europe dead. We want to know if its big sister Katla has the potential to do the same, but on a global scale.
On paper, it has all the credentials. Its magma is gas-rich, perfect for making ash.
And it has a thick ice topping which will provide exploding steam to pulverize that ash into a superfine cloud.
But there's another ingredient we need to investigate, and it could be the most unpredictable of all. To get the right kind of ash cloud to really bring the world to a standstill, you need the right type of wind, a wind that can carry the cloud much further than just to Europe. A rare northwesterly wind took the ash cloud from Eyjafjallajökull up into the jet stream and out over Europe at 35,000 feet. For its sister Katla to cause global chaos, it would need a wind system capable of taking it all the way round the world. And many scientists argue that getting the right kind of volcanic eruption with the right kind of wind at the same time is far too rare an occurrence to really worry about. But the thing is, you don't have to look too far back in history to see that it can happen. In 2011, a chain of volcanoes erupted in Chile. A freak windstorm caught the ash cloud and carried it around the southern hemisphere, grounding flights in South America, South Africa, and even Australia. Just imagine if that happened in the northern hemisphere. About 90% of the world's population lives in the north, so the impact would be huge on mail and medical supplies, on fresh food. Our globalized lifestyle would simply grind to a halt.
Iceland will always pose a threat because it will always be volcanically active. It may have plenty of ice, but this island was forged from fire. Some scientists think that Iceland formed because of something called a mantle plume, a hot upwelling of the mantle that originates over 1,700 miles down and rises up to form a hot spot on the surface. It pushed Iceland off the sea floor and continues to provide the heat that warms the whole country like a pan on a stove.
Hot river right below us. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh, man.
It drives steam out of the hillsides, and the Icelanders take advantage of it.
Liz, look down here. You can see the geothermal power and how it's turning the fans from the steam rising.
It's amazing to see all of that natural energy being put to good use in this country, isn't it? It's so well organized. Look at that one. Awesome.
But the hotspot isn't the only thing warming up the landscape here. Iceland also sits on top of the world's longest mountain range, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Here, the continental plates of North America and Eurasia push apart, allowing hot magma to rise into the gap. Imagine this baseball is the Earth, and you can think of the seam here as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And Iceland sits slap bang in the middle of it, so half of it is over the North American plate, which is here, and half of it over the Eurasian plate. And the ridge is incredibly dynamic. The plates are separating at a rate of about an inch a year, and you can see the results of that over here. As the ridge separates, it tears the land above it apart, creating these massive cracks that are littering the landscape around here. The rift creates a branching zone of cracks that runs the full length of the island. The deepest faults provide an escape route for hot magma. The majority of Iceland's volcanoes, including Katla, sit along these faults. This fault is filled with water, and it offers a unique opportunity to explore the cogs that drive the Earth machine. I've always wanted to dive here. I'm so excited. It may be a gateway to the underworld, but thanks to a strong surface current, the temperature is close to zero.
Wow, this is spectacular.
But the freezing conditions are worth it when the ground starts to open up below us.
Never seen anything like this.
This site is famous for the crystal clear visibility. Some divers have even reported vertigo because they forget they're surrounded by water.
It's so incredibly clear, and the rock walls fall down so low. It's really quite overwhelming. This is pretty incredible because
My equipment has taken a hit from the cold conditions. The regulator jams and my face is blasted with air. My oxygen supply is quickly running out and we have to make an emergency ascent to safety. Right, take two. I'm not going home until I see this properly. The little that I saw before my mouth began to free flow, this place is just epic. So I'm not going home until I do that.
That's my girl.
With the new regulator in place, it's time to get to the most famous section of the dive. Here, I'm directly over the mid-Atlantic ridge. And when I stretch my arms out, I can place one hand on America and the other on Europe. And to think, not far below my fins, continental plates are shifting and magma is rising, creating the pressure that may soon cause Katla to blow her ice cap. Really spectacular. It is a real experience of a lifetime, so thank you so much for sharing it with me. That was really awesome. Now take that, I'm going for a cup of tea.
Yes.
Scientists believe the next eruption of Katla will be bigger than that of its sister, Eyjafjallajökull. But just how bad could its global impact be? One way to find out is to measure it against the very worst volcanic eruption that Iceland has ever unleashed on the world. And it may have been the most destructive single eruption in history.
We popped